Xbox and PlayStation, man. Xbox and PlayStation. We got a pretty interesting conversation to have today. You know, digital versus physical. I don't know how many of you are digital or physical. I myself, I stick to mainly digital media these days. From movies to TV shows to video games. Now keep in mind when it comes to the game stuff, I do get a lot of review codes. And those generally come digitally. So I think, I'm a little biased in this situation. You guys know me. I'm willing to admit if I'm biased or not. But I do get those. So it would push me more towards the digital era. But I'm curious on what you guys do in the comment section below. Are you a mainly physical person or are you mainly a digital person? I'm going to probably maybe even do a video on that depending on how many people go down there and comment on that. But one of the speculation in the industry for a long time has been, should we abandon the physical media of gaming? And even me, I'm about 50-50 when it comes to this. Even though I don't necessarily mess with physical media in general. I don't even think I have a physical game for the Xbox. I do have one for PlayStation. I have Octopath Traveler 2, but for the most part, digital. Only time I ever really go physical is when like GameStop has a really good sell on a game. Like I think that's how I got Octopath Traveler. It was like $40. No, I don't remember why I got Octopath Traveler. I think that's what it was though. So when you go into these kind of scenarios, it's easy to put your perspective above everyone else. Just because I, myself, and all my friends mainly do digital, what is the actual numbers behind the digital output compared to physical output? So let's go over here to Twitter and let's see what Genki over here. He shared some numbers that he got from these individuals. Now, what I will do is I will put this tweet in the description below, just so you can go and you can look through stuff too. The U.S. United States, so this isn't worldwide, but the PlayStation 5 and the series breakdowns on the Xbox Series S and X and the PlayStation 5 disc and digital edition. So I think, we have a lot to break down here. Now, I am going to talk about the PlayStation 5 digital and disc versions, the physical, which is interesting because you see here it's 18%, which is absurd. But we are going to mainly focus on the Xbox Series S and X this video. First thing, let's just get the PlayStation 5 stuff out of the way in general. When it comes to PlayStation 5, I do feel like they're mainly more into the physical means than a lot of people think. And the reason I think that they have converted more to digital is because Xbox kind of like is more digital friendly with gifting. They got a lot more features on there. I do feel like physical is a little bit more popular on the PlayStation side. Now, when you look at the PS5 digital and the PS5 physical, I don't want people to put a lot of emphasis behind this because we don't know how many digital PlayStation made. They could give the illusion that they have a PlayStation 5 digital, but they only produced X amount. And it was like 4-1 on the physical. So obviously those numbers would be hugely lopsided because you can't find a PS5 digital. Now, I don't know if that's the case for this particular situation, and I'm not going to go out there and act like I know, but I do know that stuff like that could potentially happen, and I want people to be aware of it. You guys know how I am. I just give you my opinions on stuff. I'm just like you guys. I just have a platform. PlayStation 5 kind of surprised me a little bit when it comes to the 82% are physical. It's interesting. I felt like it would be a little bit more lower than that. But the fact that they are still in that shows why PlayStation is still giving you the ability to get a physical version. I think that's what really their mindset is. It's like, look, we want to sell more digital stuff because we actually get more of the money that you put into it. Because if you buy physical stuff, PlayStation sharing that with someone else. They're not getting that specifically. They're sharing it with someone else. So it would make sense that they would push you more towards the digital era. Now, at the beginning of the PlayStation 5 generation, I don't know if, they made far less digital, like I said earlier, but it does seem like now that they're seeing the cues that they want more people to be digital. Because like I said, in the end of the day, they're kind of forcing you to be on their platform, because if you can't buy physical media, you can't sell physical media. So that means you have essentially bought games on their platform, so you're stuck on their platform. Now, let's talk about the Xbox Series S and X. This number surprised me because there's a lot of people that go out and they put this persona that the Series X is sold significantly less than the Series S. First off, I don't really understand the the numbers and everything that goes behind this. I'm just going off speculation off these numbers in general. And if these numbers are true, the fact that there's potentially 51% of the consumers in the States went out and they bought an Xbox Series X over an S, and 49% of them bought a Series S over an X. It's kind of crazy because the Series S is awfully more affordable. Maybe the physical thing has a meaning here. Maybe a lot of the consumers are looking at, spending habits, and they're looking at the Series S and like, look, this might be significantly cheaper, but I can't have access to physical media. So maybe Xbox should look more into what PlayStation's doing. Find a way to rip the disk drive out of the Xbox and put it in it if the consumers want it. Maybe an add-on. PlayStation makes it a little bit easier, I will admit that, but I'm sure there's ways that they can do it. The engineering department on Xbox are very clever, and I'm sure that they can figure out a way if they wanted to. It just comes down to it. It's like, look, clearly physical is still important, even though there's a lot more people getting the digital on Xbox Series S and X compared to the PlayStation 5 disc and physical digital. Like, you got to first off consider that PlayStation 5 is outselling Xbox by a significant margin. So that probably leads to some of these numbers, because if there's more people buying that means there's more people that can go out and buy either or. So that would, skew the numbers a little bit, in my opinion. And keep in mind, none of this is confirmed either. We're just going off pure speculation. But physical is still important, guys. I do think digital is more is going to be more dominant going forward, because even though what's going on right now with the PlayStation 5, they're giving you the option if you want the disc drive. So to me, feels like the skew going forward is going to be digital, and if you want, you can get that physical version. It's going to be interesting, man. It's going to be interesting. I think when it comes down to it, these console manufacturers just need to give you the option. Me, myself, and a lot of my close friends, the majority of people that I work with on ILP, the people I work with on YouTube, all my friends on Xbox, all of us mainly have digital. And maybe Game Pass has really led to more of a digital dominance on the Xbox platform, because so much more stuff is accessible digitally that there's not really necessarily a reason to buy anything physical, especially when you're getting sales and stuff. So that may contribute to a good portion of it. And I do think that has something to do with it. I think there's multiple variables why this would happen. And it's interesting, man. It's interesting. I'm not going to lie. It's interesting. This does show that physical is important, because even though that digital and physical is more 50-50 on Xbox, the fact that physical is still winning on Xbox says a lot. Now, it could be just the power, but I think the majority of the consumer base that would buy an Xbox Series X, they know that, the Series S is cheaper and, it's less expensive. So I don't think necessarily that has anything to do with it. I think a lot of it is that physical media. They see that they can't use physical media on the Series S. Is that everything? No, there's obviously going to be people that want the power over the Series S, but I think more people don't see the power of physical in the industry. Now, that doesn't mean that digital is like going to start like shrinking it's going to increase. I would say by the end of the generation, 80% of everyone's going to be doing digital, especially with PlayStation, the way that they're handling things, where they're going, more of a digital focus, and they have add-ons if you want to still do the physical media. But I'm very curious to your guys' opinion on this. Once again, like I said, put in the comment section below what you guys do, physical media. Want to hear that on your guys' end. If you guys enjoyed this video, definitely hit that like button. Is always appreciated. You can always sub to the channel. We make weekly content over here. Definitely follow me on Twitter, Lord Addict ILP. In the description is Addict Arena. Today we're going to be talking about a lot of these topics live with the community, just to get everyone's opinion on stuff. But I appreciate everyone coming through. And until next time, this is Gaming Addict. I'm out of here. Peace. Man, physical, I ain't gonna lie to you guys. There was a lot more people buying physical in 2024 than I thought. Still doesn't mean that there ain't more people wanting digital, but there's a lot more people wanting physical than I thought.